going on, everyone? Today on my YouTube channel, I am doing something I have never done before, and that is rank the DC Extended Universe movies. The reason why I'm doing this way ahead of schedule before Shazam releases is because I got an early screening to see Shazam this weekend, which I'm very excited for. I know this universe is not popular for plenty of people out there. From my point of view, these movies aren't terrible. It's not the worst universe of all time. For whatever reason, though, I feel like a lot of you guys watching this video, your rankings will be very similar to mine. And there's only one way to find out. So without further ado, let's get started with number 6. So many people dislike Suicide Squad. This is a film I feel like isn't atrocious, but could have been so much better. What's good about this movie? I do like how they introduced all of the characters, these villains. I found that to be very creative. And some of these villains were very likable in the film. Will Smith as Deadshot, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. Those two were given plenty of spotlight throughout this movie. But by giving these two characters so much spotlight, everyone else in Suicide Squad was undoubtedly pushed to the background. So it felt like the Suicide Squad was led by two main villains and everyone else was barely given any depth. Plus, the villain in this movie, what were they thinking? And why was Jared Leto's Joker in this film? These are questions I still ask. Number 5. Oh boy, the hate keeps coming on. Batman vs. Superman is here at number 5. Another movie that could have definitely been so much better than it was. My favorite aspect of Batman vs. Superman was Ben Affleck and his portrayal of Batman. The character of Batman / Bruce Wayne was easily one of the strongest elements to take away from this movie. To be completely honest, I don't really remember much else, and that's the thing. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is not a very memorable movie. I guess this film did feel more epic than that of Suicide Squad, which is why it is higher up on my list, but there were so many things I got wrong with this film. My biggest flaw of them all with Batman vs. Superman was how underwhelming the finale was when Batman and Superman go head to head. That brawl should have been brutal, but unfortunately, it was nowhere close to what I was expecting. Number 4. Funny enough, I still like the 4th film on my list more than The Avengers from 2012, and this movie is Justice League. You have a terrific ensemble cast with Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, and then I especially like the newcomers of Ezra Miller playing the Flash, Jason Momoa playing Aquaman. Those two stole the show. Surprisingly enough, the humor is one of the strongest aspects from Justice League. I laughed multiple times in this film. Whenever Jason Momoa or Ezra Miller speak in this movie, I find myself dying. And it's a purely fun movie to watch with its included immaculate set pieces. My biggest problem with Justice League is not only the villain, who was very ordinary, nothing special, but also this movie was rushed. It felt rushed from beginning to end. Only 2 hours long for a film where you're introducing several new characters, so they could have definitely added at least another half hour to Justice League, but at the end of the day, it was only a 2-hour film. You gotta hate mandates, am I right? Number 3. Man of Steel is here at number 3 on my list, and this is about as good of an origin story for Superman as they could have done. This being the first movie in the DCEU, Henry Cavill killed it as Superman. I thought he was great casting. The cast is stacked in Man of Steel. You might have more high-level stars in this movie over that of Justice League, which is crazy to say. And it's an ultra-entertaining movie with several action sequences I enjoyed. The only real problem I have with Man of Steel is how this film is overblown, not only in some action sequences, but also with product placement. There was far too much product placement in this movie. Come on. Number 2. The latest DCEU movie I saw in theaters, Aquaman, starring Jason Momoa, was a movie I really liked. As far as positives go, Jason Momoa returning for the first time since Justice League is great once again as Arthur Curry. The best way to describe Aquaman is by calling it an epic fantasy adventure, because when I say epic, this movie is epic. The action sequences on both land and water are incredibly fun. My only flaw really with the movie is how it feels like 3 films into one, and they crammed way too much into Aquaman. I did not mind the length of the film, but it felt uneven and I could not get past that. Number 1. Finally, the movie that I feel is the best out of all the films in the DC Extended Universe is Wonder Woman. Yeah, I'm sure you guys probably saw that coming, but I'm sure you have the same movie on the top of your list as well. Gal Gadot and Chris Pine are spectacular in this movie. Their chemistry is unreal and 2 of the best aspects from the whole film. Besides just Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, Wonder Woman is another hilarious DCEU entry. It captures World War I to a T. Wonder Woman implements character moments that add even more to the story's main heroes. There are some surprises that I did not see coming featured in Wonder Woman, and the action is some of the best in the history of the superhero genre. Wonder Woman is that good of a movie, and it is my favorite in the DCEU. So there you have it, guys. That is my ranking for the DCEU movies from 1 to 6. As always, be sure to let me know down below in the comments section what your rankings are. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I have an early screening for Shazam this weekend, so that review will come out within the next couple of days, around the weekend expectedly. Very, very excited for that. We'll see how it goes. If you're new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.